I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. This is the Billionaire Brown experience. Let's go.
I remember when I first got started playing chess, I remember I had no respect for the pawns. Like, I had no respect. I was like, oh, I mean, you take that. I don't care. I got these.
No,
But you learn, yes, isn't that crazy?
No, my brother, pawns are one of your best friends. Even though they're. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, you go. Now, even though what?
I want to hear your question because it may.
No, I'm just like, why is a pawn my best friend? Because I'm sure I'm not the only one. And there's people that play that way, like they don't care, like, oh, it's just a pawn.
Number one is there's more pawns on the board than any other piece. Every other piece has a mate. There's two of every, except for the king and queen. There's two bishops, there's two knights, and there's two rooks, and there's 8 pawns. Now, if you use those pawns correctly, they will be, they have the potential to be your best weapon, offensively and defensively. If you use them correctly.
A pawn?
If you really, a pawn.
Do you use your pawns correctly?
Not every time, not all the time, but I try to.
But you respect your pawn is what you're saying. You respect it.
Exactly, I have to. A pawn is like a dribble in basketball. Like, you can't be a guard without a dribble. You know what I mean? Or you can't, a pawn is one of those things that you need. Like, when you first learn how to play something, like maybe football or basketball, you learn how to catch, and you learn how to master the catch first. Different ways to catch it. You catch it with one hand, you catch it behind your back, you throw it behind your back. You understand what I'm saying? You learn different things. A pawn, if you really learn how to use a pawn and set them up right, they could be your best defense and your best offense. And another thing that I didn't mention about the pawn, the pawn is the only piece that has the ability, in chess we say grow up, that has the ability to grow up. So in other words, in chess, if you get the piece all the way down to the end row, what do you say? King me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get a double.
You say that.
In checkers, right. In pawn, it works, in chess, it works, the pawn works the same way. If you can push that pawn all the way to your opponent's last line, you can then become any piece that you would like.
Wait. What do you mean? You said you can, if you could get a pawn to go from your side to the last line on the opposite side.
Right.
Like where the king and queen and those are lined up in the beginning of the game. What happens to the pawn?
You can change your pawn to any piece that you would like. You can get, except for a king, you can get a queen. You can get so you can have 2 queens on the board. Your pawn can change to any piece that you would like once it gets to your opponent's last.
What?
I didn't even mention that. I don't know how I forgot that.
I didn't know that. I thought you can only, when you go to the end of the line, that you only can take a piece that's already been one of your pieces back.
No. A pawn, if you get it to that last line, you can swap that out for any piece that you would like. Whatever piece you want it back. Like, yeah, I guess you said it right. Whatever piece you got, if you got your queen taken or whatever, you can get that back. Or if your queen's already on the board, you can also opt to get a queen, but of course there's only 2 queens in the game, so we'll have to designate another piece as a queen. The bottom line is a pawn can be anything it wants once it gets to your opponent's other
Wow, that's actually really powerful. Do you usually, when you get your pawn there, whenever you do you usually exchange it or add it as a queen?
It depends on what I have on the board. If I have my queen already and I want to get it over, I might get another queen, or I may get another rook. I usually get a queen or a rook. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a queen. So I guess you could say yeah.
Okay. Dang. Okay. Now, a lot of people, I know, I'm just thinking of myself, kind of, really. When a knight, it's not a sexy piece. Like, it's not. Like, if you look how the knight moves, when you're an amateur and you're just getting started, like, the knight, you can almost think it's the second weakest piece on the board for an amateur.
Just because of the way it looks?
Yeah, not the way it looks, the way it moves. Like, cause you got everything moves usually to the side, moves to the side. So I'm saying next to the pawn, the knight doesn't really appear, it's not a sexy piece to have. Cause you gotta go what? You said 3 up and 1 to the side, or you can go 1 up and 3 over.
Right, you can do any of that. You can do, I think there's 16 combinations maybe that you can, for any one piece, whether it's 1 over and up, 1 over each direction and up. You can make it, as long as you're in an L shape, however you break it down, it's an L shape.
Do you like the knight piece?
I love the knight piece. But before I say that, I want to make one point though. And I'm going to go back a little bit when you asked me what was the most powerful piece on the board. So when I said the thing about the pawn, you see why I say there's a lot of different interpretations of which is the most powerful piece on the board?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make that point. Now we can, what was the next thing you asked me?
Yeah, I was asking, like, you obviously respect and everything because you're a good chess player, you understand the game, but I guess that was a bad question. I was going to ask you, do you like the knight? But obviously you do, but what is something that a knight is underrated, like something is misunderstood about the knight?
It's power that it holds on the board. It's power that it holds on the board. A lot of people underestimate the knight. Like you said, it's not a sexy piece. But we can go way back in the day when our parents used to tell us everything that glitters ain't gold. So the knight is a very, very sexy piece, if I must say. And you know how you can break it down as well? What is a knight? What is it? The piece actually, what is it? Yeah, the actual piece, horse. What is it?
Or
it's a horse.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at it in this term, like a horse puts in work, whether it's running, whether it's back in the day pulling carriages and using it for travel across America. A horse puts in that work. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it could be it could be the same as for the knight on the board. 2 knights are dangerous, man. 2 knights are dangerous. I'm telling you, bro.
Is that how you see it on the board? Because I never really looked at it like there's 2 of everything except for the pawns and the king and the queen. But is that how you look at like the knights, the rooks, and the bishops? You look like, oh, they're the same piece? Because I look at them as individually, like, oh, this is one piece and this is the other piece. Do you look at them visually on the board as a pair?
Yes. Because
really,
the reason why I tell you that is because even though I would have to break it down to you on the chessboard. I don't know if I can really explain it to you, but you have white and black pieces on the chessboard, right?
Right.
Remember how I said everything is calculated on the chessboard. So with the with the pair, let's say you have 2 bishops which move in a diagonal in any direction, but you can't put them on the same line. You can block a whole line and cross the whole board with the bishop. You can make an X on the board with the bishop. If you can visualize what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Just say you make an X on the board. Those two lines you can't cross. But just having one, I can't do the same thing as I would have with the pair. As far as strategy goes, there's one piece that you don't mind losing, and that depends on your strategy. For me, it's my bishop.
Your bishop is a piece that you're okay with losing to set something else up?
Yeah, exactly.
So there is a lot of sacrifice that's on the board in the game of chess.
Exactly.
But
you're saying to win sometimes.
If you sacrifice something, you got to be setting it up to win something too, right? You don't just give a piece away.
No, not at all. But
okay,
you may give a piece.
What's the idea of sacrifice?
Like, okay, let's take it to the 4 pieces on the board. The four squares on the board. Let's take it back there. The 4 center squares, which I said are the most powerful, right?
Right.
So I may push a piece to one of those squares in order to get you to come off of the square that I want. You follow what I'm saying? That would be a sacrifice.
Wait, say that again.
Those 4 squares on the center of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I want any one of those squares, or if I want a number of those squares, I may have to sacrifice a piece just to get access of one of those squares, which would greater my cause by controlling those 4 squares. I may just move a piece there on purpose, wanting you to take it, because I want control of that square. Once you take it, I have something behind it to take over that square once you're there.
Okay, so like what?
What was I going to say? It's like it's a control thing. So you may have to sacrifice something to get control of that square, because you know that square is in your strategy. In 2 or 3 more moves, you're going to have a checkmate if you can get that square.
Come and join the club. Visit our website at FEMMEFITALE fitclub.bigcartel.com and join our community on Facebook at facebook.com/FemFatelFitness. Thank you, Deanna Harris, for creating this. Now back to your favorite podcast.